Still using the same 10-year-old password for all platforms, even your social media? If so, your private data is in danger. Luckily, we can easily fix this with a password manager. In this 1Password review and tutorial, I'll show you how to protect your passwords and be as safe as possible out in the internet wilds. First things first, let's see if 1Password is safe to use. Can you trust 1Password? To determine this, the first thing I always check on is how robust the encryption is. 1Password uses the industry standard AES 256-bit encryption algorithm to encrypt user data, so no complaints here. I also noticed the zero-knowledge architecture, which is always a good sign. It ensures that only you can see and access a password or other information saved on the app. Plus, 1Password security has never had significant or impactful issues since its founding almost 2 decades ago in 2006, which is no small feat. And on top of that, 1Password has undergone multiple independent audits, proving its safety. So, overall, we can see that 1Password is secure and takes its users' privacy seriously. If all of this sounds good to you already, why not get 1Password at a cheaper price? Scan the QR code on screen or click the link in the description if you want to get the best discount and secure your passwords today. So, what's it like to use 1Password? Let's go over the core features, starting with the password generator. It does precisely what the name suggests, creates robust passwords with a mix of symbols and special characters. Alternatively, I can also choose to generate new passwords with a combination of words, making it easier to remember. That said, I use a mashup of symbols, as all the passwords I generate are saved in-app anyway, and I don't ever have to remember them or fill them out manually. Autofill, another 1Password feature, does just that for me, so I don't have to. With a single press of a button, 1Password smoothly autofills both the username and password fields on any website I'm logging into. And it works on apps and browsers, which is why it's one of my favorite perks. And on top of that, 1Password makes me more secure with its Watchtower feature. It monitors if any of my passwords are weak or reused. Real talk, Watchtower inspired me to change some of the weak passwords I used for decades, so maybe it'll encourage you to retire the 10-year-old password you use everywhere too. Next up is 1Password's vaults. Honestly, this is what separates 1Password from the competition for me. I can easily reorganize my passwords by category. For example, I can put specific passwords in an entertainment vault, others in a work section, and so on. This is great for keeping all my credentials neatly organized, but it's super convenient when I need to share some passwords with my friends. If any of your peers use it, 1Password allows seamless password sharing between users. For example, I have a section called Entertainment, where I keep all of my passwords for things like Netflix, Spotify, and so on. I share a lot of these with my friends to make things cheaper, so being able to share the password safely is just really useful for me. But that's not all 1Password has up its sleeve. Another 1Password feature that's made me a bit spoiled is passkeys. Logging in without credentials and using my fingerprint or facial recognition is so much more seamless, and it's safer. Granted, not all apps and services support passkeys yet, but trust me, once you start logging in this way, you won't ever want to go back. I first tested it out with Gmail, and now I can't go back to logging in with the regular passwords. To quickly cover a couple other notable tools, privacy cards help you secure virtual credit cards by imposing spending limits. And if you want to share a password for your favorite streaming platform with your friend or family, you can easily do that with the Secure Sharing tool, even if they don't use 1Password. That said, the Secure Sharing tool won't cut it if you need to share passwords frequently, as you can only share 1Password per link. If you need to share more passwords in bulk, the Vaults feature we covered earlier will let you do it easily. That's it for core features in this 1Password review and tutorial, so next up is 1Password easy to use. Firstly, if you're already in the password manager game, you won't have trouble moving all your credentials over with the improved 1Password importing tool. Plus, it works on all major platforms including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. And if you don't want to use an app on your laptop or PC, there's a convenient 1Password extension that works exactly like the app, only locally on your browser. And if you're an iOS user like me, 1Password supports the handoff feature for seamless switching between Apple devices like your iPad and Mac. So far in this 1Password review, I've given the provider nothing but praise, but let's see if this trend continues in the pricing category. 1Password offers 2 subscriptions, and there's no free version. But hey, at least there's a 14-day free trial, so you can still test it out with no strings attached. You don't even need to enter your credit card details. If you opt for the individual subscription, you can use 1Password on all devices, but with just one account. It's not the most inexpensive pricing in the industry, but it won't break the bank either. The individual subscription feels appropriately priced for what it is and its plentiful features, so it's a pretty compelling option in my opinion. However, it's the family plan that stood out most to me. It does cost more, but allows for up to 5 users, which is a great value if you want to share passwords with your friends or family. It's not that pricey, even if just one person pays it, so it's definitely a good deal if you split the price. For me, 1Password's family plan is the best option when it comes to password managers, so I can easily recommend this one. And if you want to save even more money, click the link in the description. I have the best 1Password deal and always keep it updated, so go out and secure your passwords today. Once you have a 1Password subscription, it's time to fire up the app. Let me show you a quick 1Password tutorial. We're going to do it on Windows this time and review the core features, but the process is identical on other operating systems too. After downloading the app from 1Password's website and installing it, you'll be met with this screen. Make sure to create a robust and memorable password if you didn't already, as it's the single most crucial password you'll have. You'll be using it to log into the 1Password app, where all your important information will be stored, so don't forget it, as it could mean losing access to your entire 1Password account. If you were prompted to create it when purchasing the subscription, you can always change it to a stronger one by navigating to your account settings. Now, once we're in, let's enable biometrics like Face or Touch ID, or even Hello if you're on Windows. Since I'm on the latter, I can do that by navigating to Settings, Security, and turning on this setting right here. Once that's done, let's return to the main interface and generate a new password by navigating to the Generator feature. A couple clicks here, and once the password is created, I can seamlessly save it in my vault. You can access it from the sidebar and see all of your passwords. Once you have your vaults filled in with your passwords, the autofill will enter all of your credentials automatically for you. Let me show you an example by logging onto a website. As you can see, I don't need to type in the password I just created. Instead, 1Password does it for me. I needed to install the browser extension to work, but more on that in just a moment. Because next up in our 1Password tutorial, let's quickly check out the Watchtower feature by clicking the Watchtower button in the sidebar. Just a quick note, to see more insights, you will have to add more data to the 1Password app. I recommend checking out the Watchtower tab occasionally as you keep using the app over time, checking for any insights on your security. But if you forget, no worries, 1Password will show you an alert banner on the app if there's an urgent change you need to make immediately in order to stay safe. Okay, as promised, to round out our 1Password guide, let's have a look at the extension. It functions the same as the full-fledged app, but locally on your browser. Installing it is super easy. It takes just a couple clicks, and afterwards, the 1Password extension lets you save and autofill passwords. And the UI of the extension is even easier to navigate, so you won't get lost. Okay, that's about it for the guide part of this video. If you have any questions on that 1Password tutorial for beginners, leave a comment down below, and I'll do my best to help you. That wraps up my 1Password review and tutorial. In my eyes, 1Password is trustworthy and a strong contender for best password manager overall. It's never been breached, features robust encryption, and has a zero-knowledge architecture. Plus, 1Password is easy to use, packed with many tools, and it's affordable. So what else could you want? And I can easily recommend it for both individual users and families. My personal pick is the family plan though. Thanks for watching, go grab that discount, and see you in the next video.